Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that you're all having a great weekend so far. Hi Nipa, hi Majinder, Anna. Nice to see many of you in the class. Welcome Amrah, our chat moderator, here to help us run this class smoothly. Elizabeth, Fuang, Cahyani, Angel, nice to have you here. Romelia, hi. Students, IELTS speaking part 3 about working with others. We just finished part 2 cue card long response class, and that was about working on a project with another person. Part 3 in the IELTS speaking section is a continuation of part 2. So for those of you who are new to the IELTS, part 1, first part, it's introduction, general questions, about 5-6 minutes. So who you are, your hobbies, your work, where you live, maybe some questions about sports or music. Then that's followed by part 2, where you have to talk for 2 minutes on a specific set of questions, and then it's followed by part 3, which follows part 2 questions, and then that's it. It's a 15-minute interview, and you're done. All right. Now, this lesson, these materials, our resources are powered by our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. For general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are the websites we use every single class. So if you're in these live classes regularly, you should check them out. This is the general IELTS website here with the green background. Click that big red button that's just right above my head there. And if you're an academic IELTS student, it's the blue background. Again, click that big red button. We are world leaders for IELTS exam preparations. We use the concepts of psychology and English and communication together to deliver the most powerful and effective materials. And you can access all of those through the premium package by clicking that button. We're an IDP affiliate, a British Council partner, IELTS Test Registration Center. We work with other leading companies in the world like Cambly, Baby Code IELTS, Elsa Speak. So we're here to help you. And we help a lot of students every single day. You can check out their many success stories. We'll use the website in a little bit to talk with students and answer part 3 questions for the speaking. There's a discount code to help you, 9pi for you. That's coming from our most recent video that we released on speaking. Or no, sorry, this is writing. Task 1, that's right, for the academic. Check that out. We've got a new one coming for you today. This is our schedule for next week. So we've got the next class will be on the 22nd. It will be speaking part 1. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll get notifications of these live classes. Okay. If you ever have questions, you're not sure, or something's confusing, send me an email. Adrian at aehelp.com, admin at aehelp.com. We are here to help you. Eugene, I'm doing great. How are you? Panda Cowboy, back at you. All right. So let's jump in. Let's get going. So this is IELTS speaking part 3. Okay, as you'll see right up there, just highlighted that. Speak and repeat. Copy what I say. Copy how I say it. Even copy my melodrama. Like some of you are probably like, well, but Adrian, you're like super animated. Guess what? For the IELTS speaking, being animated, being melodramatic is effective. Okay, you're basically public speaking in some ways for the speaking section. Okay, let me give you a little bit more on that. Okay, I still see this at times, and I did do a lot of classroom teaching for English before I specialized in the IELTS. My training is in psychology. I hold a degree in psychology from the University of Victoria. I taught English in Japan for a year. I taught English for some of the biggest English teaching companies in the world. Nova at that time, Geos as well, Berlitz. I've had the experience of teaching for. So I've experienced a wide range of English learners from many different countries, many different ages and different generations as well. My youngest students were 2-3 years old, and my oldest students were 85, 90 years old. Learning a language is a lifelong process, and we all do it, and we should. It's really good for our brains. So have fun with it. Here's an important tip for many of you, okay? IELTS is not an ESL exam. Even though some IELTS examiners might have been ESL teachers, many of them haven't, okay? So IELTS is not an ESL exam. The examiners are not ESL teachers. ESL means English as a second language. Okay. The very important tip that I want to give you, and this is not just for part 3, but you need to think about this right away, okay, is it is not the speaking examiner's job to get you to speak English. Okay, that is a very, very important piece of advice, okay? And the reason why is because so many of us, when we learn English as a second language, you know, we have fun and the teachers are fun, and a lot of these ESL teachers put a lot of energy into the classes, and they try to get you to speak, like, repeat after me, use the word in this sentence, this is what you need to say. And then you're like, oh good, they're getting me to speak, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this sentence. But then you get into your IELTS exam and the examiner's just like, how are you today? Do you work or study? What's your favorite hobby? Okay? And if your answers are like, yeah, sure, I like books, I work, I have a job, the examiner will keep going. They've got lots of questions. They're not going to stop and say, well, would you care to elaborate on that and give me some more details? They might do it once or twice in the beginning, just kind of to try to get you to clue in, but then they'll just keep going and they'll go, fluency, coherence, yep, done, bye, next, right? And so to them, you're a number. They even say it. They're like, this is candidate number 9735421. You're not, you know, John Francis III in their ESL class that they really are happy and fun with and teach, okay? So it is not the speaking examiner's job to get you to speak English, but it is your job to show the examiner your best English without overspeaking. Okay, so don't just go, oh, okay, so my hobby is playing tennis. Every Friday morning I go and play tennis with my friend John for 3 hours. I've loved tennis since I was 2 years old. I've been taking lessons twice, 3 times a week. Particularly my forehand is quite strong. Although my backhand is a little bit weak. I'd like to get that up to snuff because, well, I'll be in a tournament next week. And as it is my favorite hobby, it would be great to win a championship one of these days and potentially even go professional one. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. What's your favorite hobby? My favorite hobby is tennis. I enjoy playing it on the weekends. I had a great game last week. Perfect. Next question, right? So find that balance. Okay, find that balance. All right. Ah, Golda catches one of those idioms. Good for you, Golda. Yeah, definitely ask me when you catch vocabulary that I'm using. Up to snuff means at the expected level or quality. Okay, it's an idiom. All right. Yeah, Kevin says there's a few ways to say it. You could say up to snuff or up to par. Yeah, absolutely. As well. It's the same. All right. Good. Always learning, right? Great, great. Nice to see so many beautiful people and faces and familiar faces in the class today. That's great. Okay, good. Yeah, so it's your job to show the examiner your best English. That means always give the answer while reflecting the question. Explain yourself. And often include a real example. Relate to part 2. Right? Make that connection. Make it human. Okay? This is for part 3. Okay? All right? Good. Cahyani says, noted. All right. So it's your job. The examiner is not going to give an extra effort to get you speaking. Okay, they're there to do a job. They have very specific instructions on what they are allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. They're there to do a job. You're there to do a job. You can be a native speaker, a non-native speaker. It's not their job to get you to speak. You're there to speak. All right, so when part 2 finishes, the examiner will say, that is the end of part 2. We will now continue with part 3. For this part, I will ask you a question or two related to your response and some questions connected to the topic of part 2. Let's talk about working with others. So here's our first question of this part 3. Let's just jump right in. Why is it a good idea to work together with other people on difficult assignments? Okay, so I'm going to give an answer. I'm going to use the question, explain myself, and give an example, maybe relate to part 2. And I'm seeing Anahita, Nipa, Karina, and some others already answering, which is great. Okay, it's great that you're preparing. So it is very smart to collaborate with a partner on challenging projects. Because in this way, not only can the workflow be more productive, but the sheer number of ideas and perspectives can be greatly increased as two or more people can brainstorm throughout the assignment. Certainly, we took advantage of this in our marketing project with Marie. Okay. All right. So there is my answer. Let's take a look at it, and then we'll take a look at some of the answers that you have shared with me in the chat. So again, here's the question. Why is it a good idea to work together with other people on difficult assignments? It is very smart to collaborate with a partner on challenging projects. This is basically the same as this, okay, but using different words. So notice that here it's good idea, and here I say very smart. Here it's work together. Here it's collaborate. Okay. Other people, partner. Okay. Difficult assignments, challenging projects. So I'm really just reflecting the question. It shows that I understand the question, and it also shows that I've got good vocabulary, right? Okay. So because in this way, not only can the workflow be more productive, so there's my reason one, emphasis, but the sheer number, sheer is like the absolute number of ideas and perspectives can be greatly increased as two or more people can brainstorm throughout the assignment. Okay, so we can bounce ideas. That's another way to say it, is bounce ideas. Okay. Certainly, we took advantage of this in our marketing project with Marie. This is the reflection back to part 2. Okay, so if you remember part 2, it was about a marketing assignment, right? We used the answer that was assisted or generated by ChatGPT there in the previous class. If you missed it, not a big deal. Look on the channel. Look at the previous video from today's live classes, and you'll catch right up. So that would be considered a band 9 because it has all the parts of a great answer or an expert answer, right? It's showing vocabulary, it's accurate to the question, it's constrained to the question with that paraphrasing, gives an explanation, it emphasizes the benefits, and then makes that very clear connection. Now, that's it in a nutshell. That's really what you need to do. And of course, it's just lots of practice. Okay. So Anahita has this response. Okay, Anahita says, it is optimal option. Optimal is a bit weird here, Anahita. It is great option. Option's a bit off, but it could be. It could work. So I don't want to say there's only one way, but there are some more common ways. It's okay here. It is a great option to work with others because we can make outstanding projects and assignments by sharing both knowledge and experience with them. Okay, very good. That's a really good explanation, Anahita. Moreover, we can come up with new ideas from their opinions. Okay, and then Anahita plus example. I'm not sure if you've included that somewhere later, but that's what you'd want to do. Okay, so Anahita, you're on the right track. You have about half the answer. Now finish that with an example, right? Okay. Nipa says, there are many benefits to working together instead of working alone, especially in difficult assignments. On difficult assignments, because different people have different ideas. This is not a new sentence. Because different people have different ideas and different points of view, so it really helps to develop the best results, right? Something like that, Nipa. Okay. Students, the words because and but are used to connect sentences, not to start sentences. In some narrative writing, like storytelling, or when we're writing reported speech. In reported speech, we'll use because and but to start sentences in rare cases. Generally, in most everyday common writing, expository, persuasive, descriptive essays, the words and, but, because, they do not start sentences. That's a mistake to do that, and it's very awkward. So be very careful with that. Everybody got that? Thumbs up? Yes? I've seen a few of those in the last few days, and I'm not sure why. I hope nobody made a video saying, start your sentence with and. It's really, like, special. No. English experts know that it's not the way to do it. It's and means it's like and, right? You're connecting. But means it's an opposite to you're connecting. Because is a result, you're connecting, okay? Generally in literature, and, but, because do not start sentences. It's very awkward, right? Be careful. All right. Funan Saikyu says, I watch all your recorded videos. Funans, thank you. Okay. All right. Domenico, I love your creativity. I can already see it from a mile away before I even copy paste it. Let me share it with the rest of the class. So Domenico says, I think you've got even more there, Domenico. There. Okay, I think that's good. All right. Domenico says, I believe collaborating with other people, especially on difficult assignments, can be beneficial for the sheer number of ideas and perspectives which can lead to solving problems and implementing unconventional ideas which lead to outstanding results like those I obtained with the collaboration from a talented Mexican student during my master's thesis. Exactly, Domenico. Exactly. Okay. Juan Pablo Avila says, Mexican student. Let's not forget the name Pablo. You make me laugh, Juan. Pablo. Yes, it has to be Pablo, right? What other name is there? Okay. Elizabeth says, me too. I really like Domenico's answers. They're very creative. I must say, Domenico, you really do put a kind of a creative twist. It must be something in the water or maybe in those delicious Sicilian olives that give you that creative edge, right? Ship me some of those delicious olives that you have there. All right. Okay, everybody. Now, part 3, it's conversational, even though it's professional, it's conversational, right? So the first question is, why is it a good idea to work together with other people on difficult assignments? The follow-up question is, when can this be a problem instead of a benefit? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one, and then we will compare. All right, Golda says, Domenico's creativity is the cherry on the top. It's the icing on the cake, right, Golda? All right, here we go. When can this be a problem instead of a benefit? Whenever teammates on a project cannot get along, that can lead to major issues in the success of the work. They may not be able to finish their tasks, and they may even grow to dislike each other and abandon the project altogether. This is clearly a negative situation, and it may be better to tackle the work solo. All right. Right? If we can't play together, that can be a problem. All right. So when can this be a problem instead of a benefit? Whenever teammates on a project cannot get along, that can lead to major issues in the success of the work. They may not be able to finish their tasks, and they may even grow to dislike each other and abandon the project altogether. This is clearly a negative situation, and it may be better to tackle the work solo in this case. Okay. All right. Let's see. Fuang. Let's see what Fuang's come up with today. All right, here we go, Fuang. Fuang says, there are also some difficulties of group work, especially group decision making, that turns each member into a conflict. Everyone has their own perspective that leads to a lot of arguments if they do not spend both their effort and agreement on other thinking. Sometimes I have some arguments with my friends on assignments as we don't share our ideas together. Okay, Fuang, I've got you. I got your ideas. There is some strange English here that makes it a bit tricky to understand. So let me fix that a bit, right? There are also some difficulties of group work, especially group decision making, that turns each member into a conflict. That turns each member into a conflict doesn't make sense here. How should we finish that sentence? Let's help Fuang. How can we finish this sentence to make that coherent? Coherent means actually make sense, right? So especially group decision making. Decision making is a noun here that turns each member. Yeah, very good, Kevin Bowie. Turns them against each other. That's right, Fuang. Turns each member against each other. That would be the natural way. You turn against each other. That's the natural expression here. Yes, AJ, exactly. Against each other. Everyone has their own perspectives. That leads to a lot of arguments. If they do not spend both their effort and agreement on other thinking. A lot of arguments if they do not spend effort on, let's change this a little bit to make sense of it. Okay, make it more coherent. Let's help Fuang again a little bit with this. So if they do not spend effort on what? Can you give me the end of this sentence to make it make a lot more sense? Mal says effort on solutions. Yeah, that would be good. Solutions would be a great way. Contributing. Discussion is okay. Productivity. What's the best word? I'm always looking for the best word, right? So effort on. Yeah. On solving. On cooperation. Very good, Angel. So on cooperation. Yeah, you have to cooperate. You have to work together, right? On working together. What's an idiom for working together or having the same idea? Let me ask you this way. What's an idiom for having the same idea? I like this idiom, so I use it quite a bit. You've probably heard me use it a number of times before if you've been in the classes. To have the same idea. Give you a hint. Yeah, there it is. Juan Pablo, very good. Juan Pablo says to be on the same page. Oh, that wonderful English. All right. On cooperation or effort to be on the same page. Okay. Very good. Vermilia says the other one we could use here is we could also use to see eye to eye. Yes. To see eye to eye means to have the same kind of goal or idea. Right? Eye to eye. I'm looking at you. All right. Sometimes I have some arguments with my friend on assignments as we don't share our ideas together. Okay. Again, the end of this Fuang is a little bit off. So sometimes I have some arguments with my friends on assignments as you could say don't see eye to eye here for sure. How can we finish this? Have conflicting perspectives would be one here. Okay. All right, Fuang, there is your accurate, coherent answer. Moving from a band 5 in this case, Fuang, just because some of those structures and phrases were quite confusing. So band 5 to a band 9. Yeah, I would say. Okay. All right, Fuang is thumbs up. So here we go. There are also some difficulties of group work, especially group decision making that turns each member against each other. That turns I don't like repeating words, members against each other. Everyone has their own perspective that leads to a lot of arguments if they do not spend effort on cooperation, if they do not spend effort to be on the same page. Sometimes I have some arguments with my friends on assignments as we have conflicting perspectives. Okay. All right. Looking good, everybody. So that's the concept of part 3. Answer, explain, example, clear answers, coherent answers, of course, stay on topic. And connect, right? Many of you are making connections. All right. Mr. Defi, love back at you there in Nepal. Thank you for those smoochies. All right. Yeah. So a little bit of empathy goes a long way, right, Elizabeth? Okay, everyone. Let's practice. We didn't have a lot of time last class to practice, so I definitely want to have a lot more time in this class. And I think many of you get the idea. We've got tons of people in here, which is great. There's 150 of us in the class. It's like a university auditorium, real time, with people leaving and coming all the time. That's fantastic. Amrah is one step ahead of me. Check out Amrah's instructions in the chat. Thank you, Amrah. So to volunteer for speaking, go to the website. Okay, we're going to get some more Band 8, Band 9 answers here and strategies, everybody, so don't run away. Go to aehelp.com instead and log into your My Student account. Okay, go to Student Partner Speaking, enable your microphone. Let me show you. So here's the website. You sign up for the premium version with this big red button. I've said it 1,000 times and I'll say it again. It's the right choice if you're taking the IELTS exam. We're an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center. We are world leaders when it comes to understanding English communication and the IELTS exam. You go to your My Student account. A lot of people say they actually keep using this way after they're done their IELTS. That's the cool thing, is we're not a subscription model. So you only pay once and you get to use it as long as you like. And that means you can keep using it after you're done with the IELTS. You can just keep using it forever. Okay. We'll keep being here. So there you go. It's a one-time payment for lifelong investment. Student Partner Speaking, click on it right there, right above my head. And once you are in the Student Partner Speaking, then you will see your beautiful classmates in here joining up. We got Pilu, we got Paromita, Anna, Kulwinder, Adele, Andy, Vlad, and many, many, many more. And then volunteers. So the way you volunteer is you find me. I'm easy to find. I'm at the very bottom here. You can't see it, but it's you're always listed at the very bottom. I'm listed as Master, all big letters. Okay, so Master. Master, like that. And you want to just click on the blue button by my name there, and then you're good to go. All right, so let's take a volunteer to start off with. Let's Angel, there you are. You volunteer and then you disappear sometimes. Angel, are you ready? And of course I have to put my headphones on or I won't hear what you're saying. Okay. Hi, Angel. You picked up and then you disappeared. Oh, no. I think we were able to connect once, Angel. I'm not sure. Just check that setting to see if, we've got something similar going on. Cahyani, I am keen to volunteer. Okay, Angel, you know what? Let's give you a shot here. Let's see. Hopefully it works when you're calling me. Let's see. Hi, Angel. Are you there? No, I can't hear you. Angel, you got to check your settings. Cahyani.
Hello, Adrian.
Hi, Cahyani. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you then?
I am doing fantastic. Cahyani, can I ask you for a favor?
Yes, sure. Far
Okay.
away.
All right. If you have a second, try to connect with Golda through the chat at some point, and maybe hash out why you are able to connect. Because you're not using. Are you using a VPN?
No, I'm not using a VPN. I'm using Wi-Fi right now.
Yeah. So maybe talk to Golda and figure out what the difference is and what the two of you are doing, why you're able to connect so easily and clearly. Because I think she's kind of in the same region. I have a feeling it could be your service provider maybe or different. So figure out what are the similarities and differences. I would love to learn that. And if you guys could send me an email and go, oh, we think it's maybe this, that would be really cool. Okay.
Okay, Adrian, jot down.
Yeah. And by the way, when you do it, use English, okay? Always in English.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Okay. Cahyani, so let's jump into part 3 here. Just out of curiosity, for part 2, what did you want to speak about for the project person?
Okay, so this person name is Dinita, and I have completed a project with her. It is talk about the chemistry project that made a wine from bacteria in the first semester.
Wine?
Wine that made from bacteria.
Okay, so like fermenting like drinkable wine?
Yes, is it is unalcoholic, sir.
It was non-alcoholic. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. And was it delicious?
Yeah, it is delicious.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe if we come visit you one day, you can make us some wine that was made by that bacteria. That sounds kind of interesting. All right, Cahyani, that sounds like an exciting project. It would sound a bit more exciting if it had a little bit of alcohol in it, but we can talk about that more later.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Well, here we go. Let's do some IELTS speaking part 3. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Far away.
Okay. Let's talk about working with others. Why is it a good idea to work together with other people on difficult assignments?
I think it is the great way to have a cooperation with other mates while challenging a difficult project, as they can figure out our mistakes and also can center our weaknesses. And without any doubt, we can also improve our skills as well. In the past project that I have worked with Dinita, as I mentioned in the part 2, she can solve my weaknesses and also can improve lots of the mistakes. Therefore, I can improve it as well in the next projects in the first.
When can this be a problem instead of a benefit?
When the partner jobs do not get involved and do not have full ambition in the project, they may not tackle to finish their task. They may even lead disputes with others member. Therefore, they tend to leave the responsibilities and also the tasks. In fact, I just dumped my friend because he was procrastinating and skipped the discussion project, and it is so notorious.
Okay. I'm going to stop there because we can definitely talk a little bit about this. All right, Chani, definitely a strong band 7.75, and I would love to give you a higher score. I would love to give you an 8 and 8.5 for that. So, but I can't, not until you improve some of that grammar, because the grammatical mistakes and the word choice mistakes are making the coherence slightly difficult. And I do think that you have fantastic vocabulary, like your vocabulary is a band 9. So for instance, using the word procrastinating, can you explain to everybody what that word procrastinating means?
you are postpone some of the tasks on the works, and so on.
Yeah, simply put, to postpone work responsibility. Right? Simply put it, when we say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, then we're procrastinating, right? So really nice vocabulary. Like I say, you have to make sure that you're, of course, applying all of this beautiful vocabulary in the correct grammar. So you have to keep working on that. Are you doing grammar exercises daily, Cahyani?
Yes, I do it like through the book that Crow Grammar that dedicated for the IELTS learner.
Okay. Are you transitioning your written grammar practice into spoken grammar practice? What I mean by that, Cahyani, is when you see a sentence, for instance, in the grammar book and it's explaining present perfect, and then you write down a sentence in present perfect, are you verbalizing it? So then do you say the sentence like, I have worked with a lazy partner who has been procrastinating ever since I have known him? Like, do you translate it into this spoken and then you say it on your phone and you listen to it? Do you do this kind of extra step?
Yes, I did apply the step that from the complex to the complex grammar.
Okay, and then you verbalize it, so you say it so that you can, like, not just quietly or not just in your head, but you actually say it out loud, like what I'm doing right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. That's good. I'm very happy to hear that. That's what I want you to do more and more of. Now, when you're doing this, okay, so when you are verbalizing the grammar and you're saying it, pay attention to including yourself. So make those examples real. Make them include you so that it's connected to you, okay? That way it's much more effective to fix that right grammar into your thinking. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yes, I got what you mean.
Okay, so it's not John has been doing this, but it's Cahyani has been doing this, right? Like, really include yourself. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Okay, so for the include ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. So here, let me show you a little bit. So I asked you, when can this be a problem instead of a benefit? And then you said, when the partner have no full ambition in the project. I understand it. It's awkward, okay? Can you correct it for me? What would be the correct way to say this?
To say full ambition?
Try to say the whole sentence one more time. So when can this be a problem instead of a benefit?
I think when the partner have no...
Has, right? Because it's a partner has. Partner is singular. So partner has... Yeah?
Okay, when the partner has no full ambition in the project.
Okay. We don't use full here. It's just simply ambition. Full ambition is awkward. So ambition itself is complete. So when the partner has no ambition in the project, 2 corrections, but they're 2 important corrections to make it really easy to understand. Okay. So just repeat after me. When the partner has no ambition in the project, it's very challenging to work with them.
When the partner has no ambition in the project, it's very challenging to work with them.
They leave their responsibilities to others.
They leave their responsibilities to others.
Okay, so keep working on it, Cahyani. Keep working on it, because you will fix those mistakes and you will undo those grammar errors that you kind of picked up along the way. Just keep doing that. And you know, when you talk to Golda, for instance, or when you talk to some of your other peers, ask them, like ask Kevin, for example. Kevin has teaching experience as well, and he's got quite strong grammar. Pablo also, or sorry, Juan as well. Yep. Ask them. So say, you know, what did you do to refine your grammar? And maybe you can pick up some really good tips that you can make your own. Okay.
Okay, sir. Got
All
it.
right. Cahyani, thank you so much for sharing. Have an awesome rest of your weekend.
Yeah, you're welcome, Adrian. Thank you to Adrian. See you next time.
Bye, Cahyani.
Bye.
All right, those Cahyani. I know, like some of our regular students, like Cahyani or Fuang, I keep coming back with the similar feedback, of course, like grammar or pronunciation. But, it is what it is. We just have to work on it, right? So we acknowledge our strengths, we acknowledge our weaknesses, we lean into our strengths, and we work on our weaknesses, right? And there's nothing to be ashamed of there and shy about. It's all about looking forward, students, all about looking forward. Okay, let's reach out to Amrah, our moderator, see if Amrah is there with us today. We'll ask Amrah a question. Are you there? Amrah. Amrah's here to help us, by the way. If you have questions, you can always ask Amrah as well, especially when I'm engaged with a student like Cahyani, and the learning is for everybody, right? Thanks for all the thumbs up, everybody, for the support for your classmates. It's great.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Amrah. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. What about you?
I'm also doing quite well. Thank you for asking. Amrah, we'll jump into a couple of part 3 questions here. I just want to bounce an idea off of you because I know that your grammar is quite strong from our previous interactions. What have you found to be useful in mastering English grammar? Because I know that English grammar is fairly different from your own native language as well, right? So how have you kind of overcome this obstacle of English grammar?
To be honest, actually, my grammar is not so strong, but I have a book of English using grammar, which is produced by the Cambridge University. And not, of course, each day, but I maybe twice a week, I tend to take a look on this and do practical exercises. And by this way, I'm improving on my grammar. But there are some circumstances where I cannot fulfill my gap in the grammar, so I'm also learning.
We all do. Native speakers do as well. English grammar, one of the reasons English grammar is so tricky is because it's extremely dynamic. It's what makes English a very modern and unique language. It has an extremely dynamic kind of grammar structure. What that means is that you can change it, right? So you can move the verb around and you can move the subject around. So there isn't like one very strict way of doing it as with many other languages, and that's what makes it so challenging. Also, what I notice, and Amrah, I agree, right? I mean, we can always improve grammar, but I do think that your grammar is fairly strong. So according to the IELTS criteria, it's definitely in that band 8 category for grammar accuracy. One aspect of your speech that I find, for instance, slightly different from Cahyani's is that you tend to slow for grammar a bit more. Cahyani is very fluent. She likes to speak a little bit faster. You like to be a little bit more methodical in your fluency. So you slow yourself a bit. And I think that slowing, and I know that I've given Cahyani this advice in the past as well, and this is true for a lot of people who are very fluent in English, is, sometimes it's okay to sacrifice speed for better grammar or better word choice, better intonation, instead of, going so fast, right? And you have to actively control that in your head. So I think that's one kind of outside tip that I can give. Okay.
Yeah, of course. If I'm speaking very fluently, I feel that I really confuse the grammar. And for this reason, I'm as you said, sir, I'm sacrificing a little bit of my fluency to focus on my grammar, because I really struggle when I'm keeping talking and talking. I'm literally forgetting about the grammar, and I'm just mixing up.
Yeah, and native speakers do as well. So it's extremely challenging to maintain good grammar, good word choice when we're speaking very quickly, and it's not necessary. So it's okay for the audience to have a bit of extra time to think about what we're saying. So that's fine. All right, Amrah, thank you for that discourse. Let's get into a couple of questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about teamwork. What are good ways to create effective teamwork?
Uh, to create effective teamwork, it is essential to establish a strong foundation of trust and respect among team members. Encouraging open and honest communication, active listening, and providing constructive feedback are crucial. And for this reason, while I was collaborating with my teammate, as I was a active listener, I helped the project to be more productive because my group mate Güner was able to clearly propose her own ideas and her concerns.
Okay, I'm actually going to just stop there. So Amrah, that would be a great example of a band 8.5 to 9. Okay, and notice how you stumbled a couple of times and you backtracked right near the end there, right? And the more we talk, the more our chances of making errors. That's why again, it's a good advice for the IELTS not to overspeak, right? We don't want to say too much because then the chance of making a mistake or becoming confusing increases exponentially, right? So much more. But you held it together. You held it together to the end. At the end, you stumbled a couple of times. But it's okay to do that. So that's a part of spoken language, right? When we speak, we make those mistakes in our own native language as well. And we naturally just stop and correct ourselves. And you did that. And that's called self-correction. It's a natural part. It's actually marked positively.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Actually, I talk today with Angel, and we already talk about also about the self corrections, and I took also an Angel as my speaking partner, and like we're also practicing each day. And but today, for example, we talk about the self-correction, and I said that self-correction is not a mistake, and it is much better than giving false sentences or going off topic.
Exactly. When you look at public speakers, politicians, lawyers, doctors, they self-correct. Everybody self-corrects. It's a very natural part of especially spoken communication. It's like a real-time editing, right? So it's a good part of communication to master when and how to self-correct. And if you catch yourself making a grammar mistake that you feel could be confusing for your listener, it's better to say, let me say that again, or let me rephrase that, let me clarify that, and then paraphrase with the correct grammar or grammar structure. If you pay attention to my speech, I'm also self-correcting throughout these lessons quite often, actually. So it's okay to do that. So that was very good. Thank you for that example and for that explanation, Amrah. And I'm happy to hear that you're working with Angel and that you have these very fruitful discussions. That's great.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're very
Have a
welcome.
good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for moderating. Bye, Amrah.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
All right, that's Amrah. Let's give him a thumbs up, maybe even give him a thank you for all of his hard work and his good advice. Thank you, Amrah. Okay, let's maybe pick someone we don't hear from as often. Paromita, who is one of our regular students, but we don't get to talk to Paromita as much. Paromita, are you ready? I've spoken with Paromita maybe once before, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. Yeah. All right. Paromita, if you're there. Again, students, that was by the way, I hope everybody picked up on that this chat interface is not just for talking with me. It's primarily for everybody to talk to each other, to find speaking partners, to work with other students. It's always online. It's always active. If you can't find people, just refresh the page. Paromita. And it's free. Paromita, are you there?
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
I can hear you just fine. Paromita, how are you? I think this is the second time that we're speaking, correct?
Yes, sir. This is the second time.
Welcome back. Can you remind me?
Thank you, sir.
Where are you right now?
Oh, I am in Bangladesh. I keep watching your videos for the whole week.
Oh, wow. Okay. You're in Bangladesh and you're doing a master's degree in something
Yes,
to do
sir.
with
Biomedical engineering.
biomedical engineering. See, there's
Yes,
there's
sir.
some
You
little wheels.
remember, sir?
I do remember. There's some little wheels turning in my head there. Yeah. That's great, Paromita. All right. Well, let me ask you some part 3 questions. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. What are good ways to create effective teamwork?
To create an effective teamwork, one group should focus to create a friendly environment. It's And also the people of the group should be cooperative enough to uh, so that they can more listen each other uh, listen each other and give importance to other opinions. And I think that besides this, uh, mm, i- there is a good there should be need to have a good environment where people can share their ideas, and this will help the members to improve themselves uh, more.
Which of these is the most important and why?
Can you please repeat the question?
Sure. Which of these is the most important and why?
I think that the most important thing is to create a positive environment. Create a positive environment because I think that if there is positive mindset uh, in everyone's uh, uh, in everyone's personality, then it will help them to accomplish the work more successfully. Mm, uh, I think this is the thing is is the most important and significant in my point of view.
Okay. I'm going to give you a band score estimate in just a second. Just give me a second. I'm going to finish it. More or less. Okay, more or less, I caught all of the words that you said and wrote them down as much as I could. That was quite good. Band score wise, just based on that question, follow-up question, you would score about a 6.5. So the examiner would likely say that those responses are somewhere between the fluent and good English level. Why? I understand you. You're more or less fluent, especially for part 3. That's considered fairly fluent. Part 3 is challenging, right? They're trickier questions. And it's almost good English, but maybe not quite. Let me explain why. So for good English, you need to have fairly good grammar. You can make some mistakes, but not too many. You need to have good content for good English for 7. So you have to have good explanations, good examples without too much repetition. Okay. And for 7, you need to be a little bit more fluent, so without stumbling so much on your words, okay? Let me go step by step here. So I asked you, what are good ways to create effective teamwork? You said to create an effective teamwork. Okay, it's good. You're using the question. No "and" here, okay? So no article, just to create effective teamwork. One group should focus, not one group, it would be the group, right? The specific group, the unique group. The group should focus on creating a friendly environment. Okay, and then you said the people of the group should be cooperative enough so they can listen to each other, give importance to others' opinions. All right, I understand you. It's an okay explanation. It took you a bit of time to express it. Here, you followed with, and I think besides this, there should be a good environment where people can share their ideas. Paromita, is that different information that you're already telling me? Not really, right? You're kind of just saying the same as what you already said there, and you're just repeating it. So this part is more of just a repeat, right? And I think besides this. So especially because you say, and I think besides this, it's kind of confusing to then hear the same information. It's like in my brain, right, in the listener, my brain is like, well, how is that different than what you're already telling me? A good environment where people can share their ideas is a friendly environment where people are cooperating with each other and listening to each other. So it's kind of the same. So let me ask you this. What do you think you could do? What should you say here instead that could make this better? So let's take out this repetition. Okay, let's just cross that out. What could you give here to stay fluent and to make this much better? So you have an answer, you have an explanation, and now you can add an... What do you think?
Sir, I will have to give an example.
Yeah, exactly. So give an example of a good group environment. And the simplest one would just be to reflect your part
Yes, sir, I
two.
understand.
Right? So
Yes.
my biology...
Currently, I am working in a biomechanics lab where I have to work with group, and the group members are really very supportive, which helps to improve my current project more efficiently.
Okay. So I just kind of upgraded your example with grammar and vocabulary in real time, but more or less the same concept. So here is the band 6.5 transformed to a band 9. Okay, so let me say it and then copy me after. So to create effective teamwork, the group should focus on creating a friendly environment. People in the group should be cooperative enough so they can listen to each other and give importance to others' opinions. Currently, I'm working with a group in biomechanics lab, and the members are very supportive, which helps me to efficiently make improvements on methodology. Okay, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
To create effective teamwork, the group should focus on creating a friendly environment. The people of the group should be cooperative enough so that they can listen each other and give importance to others' opinions. Currently, I work with a group in a biomechanics lab, and the members are very supportive, which helps me to efficiently make improvements in my methodology.
That would get you a band 9, guaranteed. Okay.
Thank you.
So careful with the repetition. As soon as you feel like, okay, I gave the explanation, I'm about to repeat myself. Nope, I'm going to give an example instead. Make that example nice and smooth, concise. Don't say for example, don't say for instance, don't keep talking. They'll interrupt you if you do that. Just give a very quick, clear example. So I'm working with a group in my biomechanics lab where we have a very cooperative environment and we reach our goals every single day. And that's it. And then you wait for the next question. Okay?
Okay, sir. I clearly understand that.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Paromita, for volunteering again. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day in Nepal, and then we'll talk again in the future. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
You're super welcome. Bye, Paromita.
Bye, sir.
All right. That was Paromita. Let's give her a thumbs up. She is, I bet you, a real smart cookie. I bet you she knows a million times more biology than I do. Although I know a fair bit. I kind of like it. My dad is a doctor, so our dinner table conversations were about surgery and the pathology and anatomy of the human experience. Fun dinner time conversation. So children, heart surgery, let me tell you about it. All right, that's what happens when your dad's a doctor. Your dinner conversations get really interesting. Okay, so let's take somebody else. Riyad, we haven't heard from you in a while. If you're there, let me know. Are you ready? Okay. Cahyani got a good laugh out of that. Yes, Mal, surgery talk at the dinner table. Yes, indeed. Okay. Riyad, if you're still with us, there's a 6-second delay, everybody, so that's why it sometimes takes a moment for your classmates to respond. I've got to wait for that delay in the internet and the world of the web. Wait for that information to bounce around and get to Riyad. Hugo Acosta. That's a premium student I'm not sure if I've seen before. Hugo, we'd love to hear your voice. Okay. All right. Riyad might have gone to sleep or out for lunch or something. Thu, hi. I was wondering what that 11 messages was. Can I speak? I want to speak. Thu, you're super ambitious today. We haven't heard from you in a while. Let's check in on you. Are you ready? Thu is a regular student and she's working hard. She's also in Vietnam. Yes, Thu is ready. Hi, Thu.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How
Good.
are you?
I'm doing good. You seem really ambitious to want to speak today. Were you like typing enter, typing enter, typing enter?
No, I am very patient to listen to you
Okay.
from cover to cover.
All right. Well, I know you've been, I see that you've been, very consistent. You're in the classes and I know you haven't really had much of a chance this week. So I'm happy to give you the chance and it's great that you're really working hard. Let me ask you some questions, Thu. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Let's talk about project management. Which personality traits are the most important for a successful project completion?
From my personal perspective, there are a lot of innate characteristics that can help people to complete tasks or complete a project. For example, perseverance is one of the most important personality because so important period day, and we need to practice with a perfect. Uh, uh, when I do a project with them, she very diligent and very perseverant.
Can you elaborate?
As I said a moment ago, whenever I have a chance to do a project with John, he very supportive and very diligent and hardworking. She very dedicated to come up with a lot of innovative ideas, and she can see one day she even brought the midnight to meet my teacher deadline. So I think she is very responsible.
Okay. All right. That was good. All right. Thu, you're working hard. Practicing your English. Good for you. Okay. All right. So lots of vocabulary, lots of ideas. You're doing good. Fluency is quite strong. You want to put it together in a nice, smooth, clear format. So lots of practice with intonation, with pronunciation. Okay. Really try to copy the English intonation and pronunciation, and I know that's so challenging because Vietnamese is so different than English when it comes to intonation. One really good way to do that is just to watch some of your favorite shows with some of your favorite characters. Pick one character, like, I don't know, Monica out of Friends, or and then just really like copy the way that they speak. Like, try to, and if it feels strange if it feels weird, if you're like kind of laughing like, I can't believe I'm speaking this way, you're probably doing it correctly. Okay. Yes. So it should feel kind of weird. If I'm trying to copy Vietnamese intonation, believe me, it feels strange for me. Okay. So I'm like,
actually,
and it's
actually I copy a lot of a lot of those, a lot of voice from IELTS speaking interview of Brandon and yes,
Yeah.
Brandon and a lot of other people.
Yeah, that's a good choice too. Native speakers for sure, okay, and pick one or two. Don't pick too many because even native speakers have different diction, so different styles of speaking. And I do recommend that women choose women to copy and men choose men because there does tend to be a gender specific style of intonating and enunciating. So I do recommend picking someone within your own gender. It does get a little bit awkward if you don't. I know that because when I was learning Japanese, I was copying women a lot. I had a Japanese girlfriend for a few years, and then some of my Japanese friends were like, "You sound like a Japanese woman," and I'm like, "Really?" And they're like, "Yeah." So there is that weird separation. Okay, so be careful with that. All right. So I like your leading expressions. Okay, I think you would probably get about band 6 for your response. You need to really kind of make it more coherent to get a higher score, but you could get a band 6. I love how you connect. So you said from my personal perspective. So from my perspective. Okay, you don't need the personal. From my perspective. And then in the next answer you said, as I said a moment ago. That was a really nice connection and very accurately used. Okay. And then you gave a good example. So with the can you elaborate, you immediately thought, okay, I need to just give an example to represent this. And that was really good. Okay. Perseverance, that was really nice. So staying true to the project and continuing the hard work. Okay. Then you got a little bit off topic with the practice makes perfect. But you realized, okay, I just have to stop and then go from there. Okay. So overall, not bad, not bad. Practice that intonation, practice that pronunciation, and I think you'll do just fine. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay, Thu?
Yes.
Thu, any questions about the IELTS speaking?
No. Tomorrow I will have an IELTS mock test and I'm quite nervous.
Are you doing the full exam? Like, are you doing the written part and the speaking?
No, I haven't, and tomorrow I will have.
Sorry, just I want to be clear. So tomorrow you have a mock exam, right? That's what you're telling me.
Yes.
Where is the mock exam?
It is in Hà Central. It is not from British Council, but
And it's like a school?
yes, it is like school from my teachers.
Okay, got you. First of all, don't be nervous. You're fine. Just be you, okay? English language, languages aren't learned overnight. It's not like a math test or a biology test where you can cram information the last day, okay?
Yes.
It takes months, years to develop language. So what you're doing is good. You're working hard. You're being the best version of yourself. Don't put more pressure on yourself than that, right? Remember, the sun will shine tomorrow. You're a young person. You've got a beautiful life ahead of you. So just do your best. Just be you, okay?
Actually, I'm an introvert. I'm very introverted, and I don't like to socialize very much. Yes, and
Kind
so
of, Thu. I mean, right now you're speaking in front of like 120 people, so it's not that bad. Right? So it's not that bad. I know the internet is a bit of a filter, but still, you're being brave. You're talking to all of us right now, and that's awesome. And I can tell that a lot of people appreciate you. So keep it up, Thu. Just be you, okay?
yes.
All right. Bye, Thu.
Thank you.
Good luck with the test tomorrow.
Thank you for giving me a lot of feedbacks.
You're very welcome. Bye, Thu.
Hi. Bye. Have a
Okay. All right. Bye, Thu. Yes, I heard the end there. Okay, let's give her a thumbs up. Wish her luck. Say, Thu, good luck on your practice test tomorrow, right? Okay, Angel, did you fix some settings on your end there? Sure. Are you ready? Let's see if Angel can maybe connect with us. Oh, you've created another account. Okay, well, that may work. It's usually not with our system. So we'll try. See, Anna said, Thu, you will do great. Okay. Yeah, Angel, I don't think it has to do with the actual account. It usually has to do with the device, with the IP location, with the national firewall. So maybe if you're able to connect with Amrah, it's because there isn't a filter or a block somewhere along the way between your country or your location and his. It could be. We'll try to troubleshoot it. Send me an email, okay, Angel? But I can't hear you. Unfortunately, I would love to hear you, but I can't hear you. All right. Let's see who else is with us today and volunteering. We've got a few other students. Let's circle back to Riyad. Let's see. Riyad says, okay, let's try. Are you still there, Riyad? Or have you returned? Did you go away? Were you multitasking? Were you watching Netflix at the same time? Riyad, if you're there, let me know. It's like I was. I'm here. I'm here. Oh, Riyad's there. Okay. All right. Hi, Riyad.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing great. What about you?
Awesome. So I tried to connect with you before. What happened? Where were you?
Yes, sir.
I thought maybe you went for a sandwich or something like that. Maybe. Who knows? Riyad, where are
Yes,
you?
sir.
Where are you right now? What country?
I'm from Bangladesh, sir.
Bangladesh. And this is the second or the third time that we're speaking with each other, is it not?
Yes, sir. I think that's probably third time
Third time,
I
yeah.
talk with you.
Yeah. I usually don't get too jokey with people that, where it's the first time. I don't want to scare people, right? But
Yes,
Riyad,
sir.
I know you're a good guy. I know you're pretty easygoing, so that's why I'm a little bit more open to humor. Riyad, can you tell everybody again why you're taking the IELTS?
I'm taking IELTS for pursue my master's degree in Canada in the medical science.
Right. When is your exam? Do you have a date?
August first week, maybe.
Okay. All right. So you've got a good month and a half. Lots of studying, okay? Lots and lots, as much as possible. Every chance you get to use English, use it. When people talk to you and you know they talk English, say, hey, can you speak English to me? Right? So every chance. Okay, Riyad?
Yes, sir.
All right. Riyad, can I ask you some part 3 questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk about project management. What are some of the most important steps when starting a project?
I think there are several steps that a person can build up a project. Firstly, a project is planning a project. After all, there are many people who works there, and they can firstly appreciate this work. Secondly, I think planning and implementation of project is the key feature, and there are many wise decisions among people who get everyone this successful project, and that's why a person can successfully to build up a project.
How about after finishing a project?
When a project is finished, I feel that a person feel that this might be a good thing about everyone, or this was bad for everyone. So I think from my own perspective, every person should have a great strategy about his planning and project. That's why he can get successful in the future.
Okay. All right. Great. effort, Riyad. That was great effort. Okay, let's take a look at this. I'm going to give you a band score estimate, and then we'll talk about why you get this band score and what you need to do to make it a better band score. Now, we're going to do it a little bit of an interesting way. Instead of me giving you a band score, let's get some peer feedback. Let's ask. I have a. You know what? I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to write down the band score, and right now, so that you know that it's not influenced by other people's opinions, and then we'll get other people to. I just wrote it down. And then we'll get other people to give you a band score, and we'll see if mine matches with other people's. Okay, so just let me write it down one more time in a bigger letter so when I hold it to the camera. Okay, so what do you think is the band score here? Mensaje says 6. Juan Pablo says 6.5. Kai says 5. Let's see what the more popular answer is. Mal says 5.5. Anna says 6.5. Ravina says 6. Nafinto says 6.5. Chinese says 6.5 or 6.5 to 7. Okay, Amrah says 5.5 to 6. All right. I would say I guess I'm a little bit harsher than everybody, but Riyad, this is my score here. Let me see. Let me show you what I think it is. Can you see that number? That's my number there. And I'll explain why that is in a second. Can you guys see that? Was that can you not see it? It's kind of hard to see. It's a 5 anyway. Nafito says I can't see it. It was a 5. Let me try to. I don't know why that doesn't show up. Anyway. I wrote a 5. Here, let me. Anahita says I can see it. 5. Yeah, there. See, 5. Okay. So 5 means moderate English. Okay, but I was thinking 5.5. So some of you are closer to me that were saying 5.5. Yeah. So it wouldn't be considered fluent English, even though you're speaking kind of fluently, like you are fluent. There's one big issue with your response, Riyad. What do you think that is? Let me show you the answer here that I caught, and then you can probably figure it out.
Sir, I think I cannot connect the words appropriately.
That was part of it, absolutely. So here, the question was, what are some of the most important steps when starting a project? You said, I think there are several steps that a person can build up a project. Firstly, a project is planning a project. After all, there are many people that works there. Firstly, then can appreciate something. Secondly, planning and implementing is a key feature, something. That's why a person can successfully build up a project. What's the issue with this? What do you think? The main problem.
I think I would speak that the importance of steps that when a person is starting a project. What are the?
Yeah. Okay. So I think you're starting to realize it. It's confusing. Like I'm just kind of confused by your answer. I'm not really sure what you're actually telling me. I got one good idea, but that's about it. You said planning the project. Okay, I got it. But I don't know what you mean by, after all, there are many people that works there. I guess what you're trying to tell me maybe is that when many people work together, it's important to have a good plan so that the project can be completed effectively. I think that's what you're trying to tell me, but I'm trying to guess what you're saying. And this is an important advice for everybody. When the examiner feels like they're trying to guess what you're saying, even if you're fluent, they're going to give you a band 5. Okay, so keep that in mind. If the examiner feels that they need to guess what you're trying to say,
yes, sir.
They will give you a band 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to make sure, Riyad, that they are not guessing, but they can understand you. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to slow down and really think about your answer. One way to do that, and I mean, Riyad, to be fair, you know, it's part 3. It's some of the most difficult questions. It's near the end. So it's not like we started with what's your hobby, right? So this is very challenging, right? So slow it down. So say, okay, that's a good question. Give me a moment to think.
Yes, sir.
Just repeat after me. Okay, that's a good question. Give me a moment to think.
Okay, that's a good question. Please give me a moment to think.
Okay, good. Yeah. I think that's fair to say that for this question. Okay, that's a good question. Please give me a moment to think. All right, now, when we're starting a project, right?
Yes, sir.
One of the ideas that came to mind is planning. Okay. All right. Sure. Now you're thinking about it, right? Because you just asked me to give you time to think about it. And your first thought is planning. Okay, planning. Great. What else? So you're starting a project, you're planning. What else do you need to think about when you're starting the project? Just think about a big project, like you want to build a car. What else? So you need to plan how you're going to build the car. What else do you need to consider at the start?
I select the person who worked there.
Yeah, so the teammates. Okay, so
Teammate.
members, selecting members, right?
Yes.
Okay, what else?
Infrastructural equipment.
Okay, equipment, the needed equipment. Just keep it simple, right? Equipment that's needed. Yep. Yep. So the resources, the
I
equipment.
forget to mention that the first need land is the I think land is the first thing that if I should mention that.
Space. Yep. The space needed for the projects. Yep. What else? There's a couple more that will come to mind. Think about the boss or the manager. It's always like, you have to have the project done by.
I have to collect millions of dollars.
Well, funding, sure. Yeah, that's another one for many, is the funding or the budget, right?
Budget.
Yep. So you budget the project at the start, right? And also the deadline.
Then I collect some man who always...
Don't overthink it, Riyad. Don't overthink it. Keep it simple. So here is the clearer answer to this, right? And you don't have to say all of these, but 3 of them, and it's just fine. And then you explain it. So here's an answer, and then just copy after me. And this isn't just for Riyad. This is for everybody, right? So slow down your thinking. You need to make sense. It's not enough to be fluent. If you're fluent, but you're not making much sense, you're going to get a band 5. So you need to be coherent. Okay. So what are some of the most important steps when starting a project? Okay, that's a good question. Please give me a moment to think. Well, I suppose some of the most important steps are planning, choosing the members, finding the right equipment, and creating the timeline. All of these are necessary to have a successful project like my school engineering project. Okay, try that, Riyad. I thought I heard Riyad disconnect there. I'm not sure. It sounded like Riyad dropped. It's definitely sounded like he dropped. Riyad, I'm not sure if you can hear me. I heard like a weird like ping there and then you dropped. But anyway, the concept is there. Okay, I think everybody gets it. So you need to practice that. And again, that repetition is for everybody. Okay. All right, Riyad. Focus on coherence. Okay, so for your next month and a half of practice, lots of focus on coherence. Slow it down, especially in part 3. Okay. All right, everybody, I'm going to stop there. I think that's a lot of information for everyone, and it's a great way to kind of wrap up the session for this week's live classes. Again, next week I will be back with lots more learning for you. Click the big red button to join the premium IELTS package. Again, it's a one-time payment, and like I said, you can use it long after you're done IELTS for more English learning, for higher level English learning. Kai, you're very welcome. Peter, you're very welcome. Fuang, I will make sure that you get a chance next time as well, so for sure. Amrah, thanks for moderating. Good work, everybody. Okay. Keep it up. Talk to each other. Use that chat interface to practice with each other. For general IELTS students, go to gieltshelp.com. Click that big red button to join the premium version of the course. And I will be back on Thursday with speaking part 1, a little bit easier questions to start off the week. And then we will have task 1, writing and reading. And I will post the schedule for next week on Instagram and on the YouTube community post. Make sure to subscribe, follow us on Instagram, and then you can get notifications of the live classes. Okay. All right. Mensage, you remembered. Yes, it's my daughter's birthday party coming up today, and we're getting ready for that. All right. That's cool. You remembered that. Okay. Everybody, aehelp.com, gieltshelp.com. Bye for now. Have an awesome rest of your weekend. Much love to all of you wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.